Been 6 days since the last chapter.
Miss Katz, if you'd have a moment.
Yes, Paula?
I found some documents you asked for. They're waiting in your inbox. Oh, and there was a call for you. I asked for you to call back. I wrote down the number, left it with the files.
Thank you. Do you know who called?
Who called me?
I'm afraid he didn't give a name.
That's fine.
An older man, I'd say. Sounded very proper, even if he did ignore my questions. Oh, he referred to you just by name. Esther.
I have an inbox?
Okay.
We all do, apart from Mr. Peters. He demands everything be handed to him personally, as if we weren't already understaffed. I set yours on your desk. It's where I'll be leaving any letters or files for you. And a daily agenda, if that's needed.
Thank you, Paula.
Okay. Check the
Time
inbox.
to get started.
Let's have a seat and review the documents. I wrote down a number that you should call back when you have time. Mrs. Newman will be arriving soon. Please update Mr. Bauer after the interrogation. Oh. Thank you. Cool, okay. Oh, dang it. I wanted to read them first. Okay, we don't need to read that. Let's find out
I can't believe Peters is
who
working
called
here.
me.
Peters. I wonder if anybody can tell me how this happened. Who do I want to call?
The number Paula
Hello?
wrote down.
Father? I didn't expect you'd call me here.
Oh, Esther, my dear, so good to hear you. Did you settle in all right?
Yes.
I have great colleagues. Well, most of them. And I believe I can do a lot of good here.
I see. Esther, there's something I want to discuss. Do you remember our little talk? It must have been last month.
Remind me.
I don't recall.
Then you should pay better attention. It pays off in our line of work. It is about the job at Bergmann, Kranich and Partners. Family law. Very respectable.
Dad, I just started working for Mr. Bauer.
And the sooner that stops, the better. Esther, let me be very frank with you. I am proud of you. I really am. A prosecutor at your age, with the view on women on our line of work being what it is, I'd have to be a fool not to. But your mother and I, we are worried. Do you have any idea what they say about Bauer?
Yes.
There are those who hate him. It means he's on the right track.
To be young and so naive again. He's hated because he's on a witch hunt. Listen to your father. Leave. Nothing good will come from this.
Let's just...
I'll think about it, Dad.
Please do. I just want what's best for you, Essie.
I know, Dad.
I'm proud of you. I know I already said that, but I really am.
Thank you.
Like you can't imagine.
Okay. Oh,
Paula?
Mrs. Naumann just arrived. I showed her to the conference room.
Thank you. I'll be right there.
I wanted to read the new documents. Okay, alright. We'll interrogate first. Oh. Interesting. So it kind of looks 3D, but it's 2D. Like Paula follows me around. Like it looks like she swivels in her chair. But I think she's 2D. Very clever. Hello.
Well, hello. And who would you be?
That's Marlene. My son turned out to be allergic, so Mr. Bauer agreed to have her stay here for now.
Looking forward to working with you, Marlene.
Very cute. Let's go into the interrogation.
You must be Mrs. Naumann. Thank you for coming. My name is Esther Katz. I am one of the prosecutors in Attorney General Bauer's team.
Good morning, Miss Katz. I am very grateful that you found the time. The last prosecutor who looked into my husband's death didn't even speak to me. He dismissed the case, claiming my husband was rightfully executed as a traitor.
Let's get right into the questions then.
Did your husband do anything for which he could be accused of treason?
Of course not. The men that took him weren't even looking for him.
I see. I know it's not easy, but please take me through the day your husband was taken.
Damn. So
It
cool.
was in April 45. Only days before the Americans came.
Where were you that day?
Home. We lived in a small house. Hans was upstairs when the doorbell rang, before someone hammered against the door.
Okay. Cool.
Did you and your husband live alone?
No, there was also our son Jan.
Jan, not
He
Jan.
insisted on staying with us to help around the house, at least until the end of the war. But he wasn't in. He went out in the morning before we woke up.
Okay.
Do you remember what time of the day it was?
We just had lunch, so it must have been close to 1 p.m.
Oh man, and then the hands of the clock appear when she... It's so good. Okay.
When you opened the door, who was it?
There were 2 men. One of them was pointing a gun at me.
Well, let's start with the other one first.
Do you remember what they looked like?
Or both, I guess.
Both wore uniforms. Brown ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Were those men from the police?
No. There weren't police, and there weren't soldiers either. Maybe
Ooh,
some
well, who were
kind
they?
of party officials or something.
Okay,
One of
cool, we
them
got
was
the
small,
uniform.
thin. He wore glasses, I remember that.
Ugh.
The second
Awesome.
man was bigger. He was the one pointing the gun at me. He seemed to be in charge.
What
Okay.
made you think that?
He had 2 golden stripes on his uniform, and he was bossing the small one around. He yelled and waved his gun around to scare me.
Wait. When listening to a witness, you may get the chance to interrupt them by pressing B in time. Interrupt.
Let me stop you for a second. These stripes on his uniform...
Okay. Oh, interesting. Crap, we haven't... So it was a brown uniform, so it wasn't these 2, it was definitely this one. So there's gold stripes. So there's 2 to choose from. Crap, I don't know. There's 2 gold stripes. Maybe worker, base manager, local group leader. Oh, to be fair, we've heard... Where is it? Local group leader Faltman immediately set up a detachment to arrest and interrogate the suspect. So then if we go back to background, we know it's not district leader, we know it's local group leader, so we know it's this one.
Could
Submit.
one of these be the badge you saw?
Let me see. Yes. That's the one here.
Let's
The
go.
local group leader. That's the one.
That is very useful. Thank you.
Case rating. Once a case has been completed, you'll receive an evaluation. Your rating depends on 3 factors: how well you can support your theory with evidence in court, whether you interrupted the witness with the correct document, and how thoroughly you searched for additional information during witness testimonies. Cool.
Please continue.
They demanded to speak to Mr. Naumann. The gun was still there, and I was just so afraid I couldn't even move.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Hans came down and asked them what they wanted. They demanded to know
there he is.
if there was anyone
Man,
with
the
us.
style is crazy.
When we said no, the smaller guy looked in the other rooms. He found no one.
There
it
he
was
is.
only Hans and I. Then the big one told Hans that he had to come with them for questioning.
Did they say why they were questioning him?
No, they did not. They ignored Hans when he asked for their reason. Then everything happened so fast. The small one said they'd let him go if our son would turn himself in. Then they just herded him out, like an animal.
Damn. While a witness is telling the story, you can explore the memory to find hidden details by asking questions about certain object in the scene. You can leave the scene by exiting through the golden glowing door which appears after the witness finished telling their story. Okay. Let's just have...
Did you see something outside?
It has been a while, I'm not exactly sure. There was a car, I think. Yes, one of those big, terrible trucks that they used.
I remember them. They were just everywhere.
Oh, I thought I could go upstairs. Okay. It looks as though that's everything that we can look at in the memory. So we'll head out. Back to the interrogation
This was
room.
the last time I saw him alive.
So rough.
Me and my son never got the chance to say goodbye.
Tell me about your son.
What was that man's comment about your son?
Jan. He was living with us at that time, but he didn't show up that night or the following. He got into some trouble. Bad trouble.
Do you think the men were looking for your son?
I believe so, yes. At least that's what they said. But the previous
Wait a second. I think it was mentioned somewhere.
Yeah. Is there proof the men were looking for her son? There is indeed. And it would be... here. Mr. Mosen is certain that he recognized a young resident of the block as the perpetrator.
Please, take a look.
Oh God. Here it is. He recognized him as Jan Naumann. I can't believe there was proof all along. And the former prosecutor just dismissed it. How could he?
Man, it's so
I
not
wish
good.
I knew. I am really sorry. Please, continue. What happened upon your son's return?
When Jan finally came back, it was already too late. We asked the authorities about Hans, but they pretended not to know anything. After war, my husband was found dead in a forest nearby. Shot. I believe he died the same day they took him.
I would really like to talk to your son about it.
You and I both, dear. But I am afraid that's not possible.
Oh no, why?
Jan died only a few months after his father. Pneumonia. Hans was innocent. They killed him, and that's murder. No matter what they call it.
I hear you, Mrs. Naumann.
Please, Miss Katz. Will you find the man?
Yes.
I promise. I will find out who is responsible for your husband's death.
Thank you.
We will let you know if we have enough for an indictment. Please, Paula will help you to the door. Goodbye.
Oh, come on, do that yourself. Do that
I should
yourself. Come
update Mr. Bauer.
When finding a promising lead during your investigation, you should inform Mr. Bauer about it. You can contact him by using your phone or by going to him in person. That's fine. So, I want to just quickly reevaluate before we speak to Mr. Bauer. I'm going to sit down in my chair and we're going to discuss. So, these 4 men executed this old man, and the reasoning they gave was he was a traitor. But in actuality, they were looking for the son, and they knew that they were looking for the son. But then they took the old man when they couldn't find the son, said, we will let you go when we find your son, but killed him anyway, took him to a forest, and his body was found. Then a criminal complaint was made against those 4 men for killing this old man without rhyme or reason, and they said it was because he was the traitor, and the prosecutor of the time agreed that that was the case and there was nothing he could do. But we know that he was actually an innocent man and he actually didn't do anything wrong. So this is all very, very interesting. So we've got a transcript now of the... Not really a transcript, but I guess a summary of the transcript. And here we go. Here's the family. Fine. Excuse me. Excuse me. Uh-oh, I've got the hiccups.
Can I ask?
Of course. What's this about?
Peters.
Oh, what did he do this time?
And that already answers some of my questions. He didn't do anything yet. I just found it strange to see him here.
How long has Peters worked here?
When did he start working for Mr. Bauer?
He was here from the very beginning. One of the first hires. Or even the first hire, according to Christoph. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Mr. Wohlmuth. Apparently, Peters volunteered as soon as Bauer was appointed district prosecutor. Before there was even any talk of forming a team. I know, I don't believe that either.
So tell me
What's
what
it
you
like
think.
working with...
Terrible. Just... let me tell you, that man has no respect for me and my work. Or anybody else's work for that matter. Maybe, except for Mr. Bauer's. But he seems simply convinced I'm just here to be his personal maid, secretary, cook. My coffee, Paula. Where are my files, Paula? What about the witness I asked 2 minutes ago, Paula? And then that damn plaque of his. Don't even get me started.
Wow.
Is the falling plaque a popular topic?
It won't stay on the wall. I've tried everything. And for some reason, every time it's still supposed to be my fault, my problem. That thing is either cursed or he knocks it down himself just to have something to complain about.
How is this work? Is it any good?
Unfortunately, yes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. I don't even think that, really. We're lucky to have him. He's dedicated, diligent, and very good at his job. Mr. Bauer is more than happy with his results. I just wish his attitude matched his aptitude. And that he'd clean up his notes once he's done with a file.
Thank you, Paula. I think that's all.
Wait, not so fast. Why are you so interested in Peters?
He was in my class when I studied law. In several of my classes.
I'm so sorry.
That's why I was so surprised to find him here. He was just a pain. Self-centered, snarky, full of himself. Clearly only in it for the money. No ideals. Just ambition and spite.
Oh, we need to get coffee at some point. And well, I don't know. Mr. Bauer does trust him for some reason, so that has to count for something, right?
I sure hope so.
What did the
Thank you,
comment
Paula.
about... Hang on, what did the comment about coffee have to do with anything? I don't understand that. Give Mr. Bauer an update about my finding from the interrogation. Okay. Hello, Mr. Bauer. Oh, any news regarding surprising
And
ones?
quite surprising ones. As it turns out, he wasn't even supposed to be arrested. The men were looking for his son, Jan Naumann. When they couldn't find Jan, they took Hans instead, the father.
I assume that's what Miss Naumann told you. But are you sure she is telling the truth?
According to the files, the man they were looking for had climbed up a flagpole, torn down a flag, and beaten up a block warden when he was caught in the act. Hans Naumann
Wakey,
was
wakey, I know.
77 years old at the time.
Nice and early, you
Of
know?
course, there are older men who are in good shape, but
Pulling down
Nice
a
and
flag
early.
and beating someone up seems unlikely. I understand.
yes.
I see, but
Hang on. She's not giving him the actual evidence for this. It's not just hearsay. The person who saw the flag get torn down admitted that it was Jan
why
Naumann,
did the
not
man
the
take
father.
him if they knew he was innocent?
They had to take someone. No, it was as a
According
hostage.
to Mrs. Naumann, they took him as a hostage. They were hoping his son, Jan, would surrender once he learned that they had his father.
Highly illegal, even back then. Not uncommon, though. But why did they shoot the old man?
I don't know.
That I don't know yet. But I believe this is definitely a case for us.
It is, indeed. I will officially reopen the investigations tomorrow. You need to find out who was at the crime scene when Hans Naumann was shot. We need witnesses.
We do.
I'd start with the names mentioned in the files of the first investigation.
Excellent. Let's get this case to court, Miss Cutts. And be mindful of time. We do not have nearly enough of it here.
Oh, don't
Since
tell me
you've
I'm going to be on the
never led a
clock.
case before, I want you to be prepared. Mr. Peters has agreed to look over your shoulder and help you out. Present your findings, prove your claims. Please reach out to him.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
I'll need Paula to get me more information on the suspects. And I suppose I should share the good news with Peters. Just great.
Okay.
That poor man. And that poor woman. She lost everyone she loved in a matter of a few months.
She did indeed.
I really hope we can help her.
I hope so too.
Anything I can do?
Yes, I need you to invite some
I need
witnesses.
you to invite a potential witness.
I've got something that might help us with them. I looked into the NSDAP local group from the original investigation. Only
Interesting.
a few documents survived the bombing. But I
Damn.
found a group photo and a member list from a few years before the
Paula, you need to be a lawyer.
incident. I took the liberty of marking the suspects. One of them, Mr. Schwartz, is dead.
Okay.
But can I get any of the other three?
I'll have
Let
a
me
think.
get back to you, Paula.
Sure, just let me know before you leave.
Okay.
Miss Katz, how...
And I also need some
I
documents.
need some additional files. The member list is helpful, but I'd still need something more about our suspects. Can you get me their files?
I'll reach out to the Berlin Document Center. But, just so you know, they tend to take their time. Anything else?
I would... Nothing.
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
Thank you. Okay. Very interesting. So, did she leave it on my desk? No. Is it in the case file then? Yes. Suspects. Interesting. So, Alfred Boltman, Herman Kiebitz, and Karl Schickert are all alive and well, and Herbert Schwartz is dead. And these are the guys here. Now it's very interesting because two of them look like the men that the widow, Mrs. Naumann, identified in her testimony. The one on the left and the one in the middle. The one on the right, we don't know who that is. But I'm sure we will learn very, very soon. Well, we know who it is, but we've not heard anything about them yet, really. Right, Peters.
I had a talk with Mr. Bauer. He wants us to get along, to work together.
I've heard.
Let's just be adults about it, Peters.
Yeah.
Peters?
Yes, I've heard you, Cuts. Fine. Here's what we're going to do. Let's just call it a truce.
Yeah.
I won't interfere with your casework if you stay away from mine. Agreed?
I literally have no no desire. Agreed.
Agreed.
Good. And as for this whole preparing you for court situation, I swear to God, but there is no point discussing it before you've met the witnesses anyway.
Thank you for thinking I'm a total beginner.
Oh, you're welcome. Someone has to do it, since Mr. Bauer apparently overestimates your abilities. Anyway, get through at least some of your witnesses, and we can get it over with. And while we're at it, don't forget to bring some evidence. I don't want us to improvise the whole thing.
Well, I know that much at least. Right, Paula, get flipping someone on the
I need you to
phone
invite-
now.
Of course. Who?
Crap,
me
I
get that.
forgot.
Sure.
Forgot who they are. This guy, HK. Herman Kiebitz. I want the guy with the glasses
Howard.
first.
I need you to...
Of course.
Please invite Mr. Kiebitz.
We'll reach out. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need any.
There's nothing left for...
Okay, so we call it a day and we go home. Off we go.